Ladbrokes is rated A by SBR. Click on their logo to learn more.
Welcome everyone, I'm Jordan Sharp. It's a 7-game evening here on Tuesday night, and after a couple of pushes last night, let's reinvest that money into tonight to try and see if we can get us a couple of winning wagers. And tonight I have found two that I'm ready to recommend to you for my NBA picks of the day. It started off with a couple of early games here. First one between the Sacramento Kings and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cavs come in as a 1.5-point favorite, total of 204 points. Now, both of these teams pretty horrific defensively, and I think it's going to show here tonight between these two teams. Very bad mismatches for these two teams. Neither one of them matches up well against one another, which I think could lead to a lot more points offensively. The Rudy Gay, Luol Deng matchup is not very good for either one of them. The Varejao versus DeMarcus Cousins matchup should be more offensive than defensive minded. And of course, Kyrie versus IT2, nobody really plays defense between those two guys. So a lot of points could be scored in this game. That's why I think 204 may just be a bit undervaluing these two teams' offenses and overvaluing their defense. And that's why I think the over here has to be the play. Should lead to tons of scoring tonight. The over is cashed in 4 of the last 6 games for Cleveland overall. And the first meeting, the Kings dropped 124 points on the Cavs to only Cleveland's 80, but at home, Cleveland scoring has to pick up a little bit against the Sacramento Kings defense, which is giving up right at 105 points per game on the road, while Cleveland this season versus the Western Conference giving up right at 107 points per game. So I think 204, good bet on the over here this evening. The next one I have for you is the Dallas Mavericks heading into Charlotte to play the Bobcats tonight. And the Cats come in as a 3-point home underdog, total of 197. And I think once again, the home underdog has to be the play here for the Charlotte Bobcats at +3. Dallas just a little bit overvalued against a sneaky Cats team that of course just got back their star point guard Kemba Walker, and along with Al Jefferson, this Cats team probably one of the most undervalued teams in the entire league. Now at home against the spread, they have not been great, whereas the Dallas Mavericks have been outstanding against the spread on the road this season versus either conference, but especially against the East. And Dallas also won their first meeting with the Charlotte Bobcats this season, 89-82 in a defensive battle. But like I said, this is a new team that the Mavs have had. This is not the team that the Mavs have been dominating, I believe, of 17 of their last 18 games against the Charlotte Bobcats. Bobcats had a 12-point lead in that game last year. Earlier this season, and blew it in the third quarter. That's not going to happen again at home. And I think Charlotte, with their home defense playing so well this season, I think they'll be able to slow down the Mavs outside of Dirk. Dirk's probably going to be able to get his. Charlotte doesn't necessarily have a lot of defensive parts to be able to defend him, but I think they'll be able to slow down the rest of the Mavericks in tune to a win here and a cover at +3. Charlotte is 5-3 against the spread at home versus the Western Conference this season, so that's boding well for their favor. And Charlotte also pretty well rested. They've had 2 full days off in between their last game and this one, and when that happens this season, Charlotte is the best team in the NBA with 2 to 3 days rest. In those games, Charlotte is 9-3 against the spread. Gonna go with the Bobcats here at +3. Add that to the over 204 between the Kings and the Cavaliers tonight. Best of luck to you on these two. We'll see you back here tomorrow for a very large card on a Wednesday night right before the All-Star break. But until then, I'm Jordan Sharp, and this has been another edition of the Sharp Pick.